Are you wasting your time chasing the pump? Is the pump beneficial, or is it just kind of a scam that they want us to focus on so we don't build muscles? Well, I'll talk about this in this video. Alright, so guys, I'm Sharif, Natural Bodybuilder. First, thank you all for watching, supporting my channel. I've been training for probably a decade and a half, and I've seen people talk about the pump, and I started training. We didn't know what was the pump, all right? Well, I started training in Syria, where the mostly we were focusing on going heavy compound lifts. Maximum would be sets of 8. That would be like the most we would focus on. And we would never really focus if we are feeling a muscle or not. We never asked, hey, are you feeling your chest? Are you getting a crazy pump after that bench press? No, you've just benched, let's say, 100 kilograms. Of course, your chest is activating because you are laying down parallel to the floor and you are pressing the weight up. So your chest has to be involved in some way. But with time, I feel like also with me traveling, seeing different countries, different methods of training, over here I got into a time where, the rich piano focus on the pump, get that pump, feel that muscle, get that crazy burn. And I gotta say, if you're natural and you're just focusing on the pump, mostly what you're doing is getting blood in there. It's mostly sacroplasmic hypertrophy. You're getting blood in there, oxygen, nutrients, yeah, and you're getting some glycogen when you're eating high carbs. But yeah, the muscle is blowing up, you're feeling it, it's burning, but doesn't mean it's gonna grow. I do not think you will build any density or thickness to a muscle. You will not build any real muscle tissue without really going heavy. I'm convinced about it. I'm kind of like a philosopher in terms of bodybuilding because I always change my mind, but I always try to see different approaches. I never want to have one idea and be, okay, you have to lift heavy and just never want to change it. I was kind of convinced a few years ago that having a training like a pump style workout and just going for higher reps, even if I'm getting my muscle to failure with high reps, I would still see good results. But now, with looking back and seeing after year how my body is progressing, I'm going back to lifting heavy. I'm going back to the sets of, let's say, 8 to 10 max. All right, and whether I'm feeling my chest or not, it doesn't matter because yeah, I might be getting a crazy pump on the pec deck fly machine or the cable crossover with 1 second hold, but that's not what's building you a good chest. All right, it's the presses that you're doing, and you might not feel your chest at all on the bench press, but guess what? You're parallel to the floor, you're laying down, and you're pressing the weight up. You are using your chest in some way or another, and that's what will lead to growth. All right, we are too focused on pump, and sometimes as naturals it's just not gonna benefit us. I'm saying naturals because I know someone that is enhanced. He's got the craziest back, craziest lats, and trust me, he does the sissiest back workout ever. All he does is holding and focusing on the pump and getting a good mind muscle connection. His training, if he wasn't enhanced, he would look like a twig. All right, that's just if I would train like this, I would lose muscles. Okay, but because he's enhanced and he's focusing on the pump and that's all he talks about, well, yes, it will work for him because of all the PDs he's taking. But if you're natural, focusing on the pump will be counterproductive. Yeah, you can do a little bit of pump style stuff, chest pec deck fly at the end of your hours of pressing. After doing all the pressing and you're almost done, yeah, go get a good pump on the pec deck fly and call it a day. But if all your workout is sitting on machines and going for the pump and focusing on the pump, you're basically just keeping blood in the muscle and you're not really doing much. Pump is good to showcase your body. Before stepping on stage, pump it up. Before going to the beach, pump it up. Get that blood in there. But you're not growing with that. You are not growing. You gotta understand, you wanna grow. I don't think there is a way other than the bread and butter is the heavy lifts on the compound lifts. The heavy compound lifts. All right, I'm not saying go for a PR. We're not powerlifting, but we're still trying to go for the 6, 7, 8 reps. Guys, 8 reps on a bench press, it's pretty heavy. Okay, it's not high reps. 8 reps on the bench press where you go to failure at the last set, it is pretty heavy. Every single rep looks pretty hard. Okay, I just, yeah. So don't focus overly on the pump. The only place that I sometimes focus on the pump is the very small muscles, because I really want to make sure that I'm engaging them. Something like a rear delt. It's super easy to overcompensate with your traps and not feel the rear delt. So that's where the pump comes into play, because I really want to feel it. I want to get a good pump on my rear delt. My calves, for example, for me, I have shitty calves. That's it, triceps, biceps, yeah, but I've been trying to focus on the pump and the mind muscle connection on my lats or chest. I've lost muscles, all right? So guys, don't overly focus on the pump. You want to build that thickness, that density. If you're natural, get back to the heavy lifts. And if you don't feel it, it's okay. Maybe it will take you a bit longer than you think to start feeling your lats on the barbell rows. Okay, it takes time to start feeling and connecting with the muscle, and that shouldn't be your priority. You shouldn't focus just on, oh, I gotta feel my lats. I don't think so. I think you gotta focus on, rip it and grip. What is it called? Grip it and rip it first. Grip it and rip it. Get those weight up. Get those reps up. Get that tissue. Build that tissue. Of course, you can't feel it. You have no tissue there. Build that tissue. Put that barbell on your back and squat before going to the fancy, overcomplicated movement for the pump. All right, so compound lifts, don't over focus on the pump. If you're natural, the pump can be a plus at the end of your workout or at the beginning to turn on that muscle, but in no way should most of your workout be spent chasing the pump. Don't chase the pump. Don't chase the pump. Don't chase the pump, guys. Chase the compound lifts and chase the good form, the good technique. And the pump will come when it's time for the pump to come. I'll see you guys soon. Ciao.